can you believe that the US once fought Hitler's army with inflatable tanks, fake radio messages, and sound effects? It sounds impossible, but for decades, a secret unit of tricksters and artists staged an invisible war, and the Nazis fell for it. 1944. The Allies had stormed Normandy, but pushing across Europe was slow, bloody, uncertain. German divisions fought fiercely, and Allied forces were stretched thin across a massive front. One wrong move could mean disaster. The Allies didn't have enough men to cover every gap. If the Germans learned where the real attacks were coming, they could concentrate their forces and crush the advance. Something had to change, so the US created a weapon unlike any other, an army that didn't exist, officially called the 23rd Headquarters Special Troops. 1,100 men, trained not for combat, but for illusion. Before we dive into their tricks, if you love uncovering secrets hidden in history, hit that like button. It tells me to keep digging for more. Many were plucked straight out of art schools, advertising agencies, and design studios. In civilian life, these men had been painters, architects, actors, set designers, engineers, people who knew how to create, perform, and persuade. Their most famous weapon? Inflatable Sherman tanks. 40 pounds of rubber and canvas, but from the air, they looked ready for battle. Soldiers dragged them into fields, carved fake tire tracks in the mud, even staged fake campfires. Then came sound. Engineers recorded tanks rolling, trucks rumbling, even soldiers hammering bridges. Played through massive speakers, the noise carried for miles. To German scouts, it was an army on the move. But the most convincing trick was radio. Operators mimicked the exact quirks of real divisions' chatter. To German codebreakers, the ghosts were alive, sending orders across the front. It worked, but it was dangerous. If the Germans attacked, the Ghost Army had little more than pistols and rifles. They pretended to be 30,000 troops, with nothing but rubber, speakers, and guts. In August 1944, near Brest, France, they staged a full division, 500 fake vehicles, false chatter, roaring sound effects. The Germans took the bait, diverting units away from the real Allied advance. But their biggest feat came in March 1945. The Allies faced one of the most dangerous obstacles of the war, the Rhine River. Broad, fast, and heavily defended, it was Hitler's last natural barrier inside Germany. If the Allies couldn't cross, the advance might stall for months, giving the Nazis time to regroup. Enter the Ghost Army. Their orders: make the Germans believe the crossing would happen miles to the south, not where the Ninth Army was actually preparing to move. At night, they rolled out an entire phantom division. Inflatable tanks and artillery lined the riverbank, staged decoy headquarters, simulated construction sounds, and filled the ether with false radio traffic. Massive speakers blasted the sounds of engines revving, men shouting. To anyone watching or listening, it looked and sounded like tens of thousands of men gearing up for a full assault. And the Germans believed it. Reconnaissance planes spotted the inflatables. Scouts reported the noise. Commanders shifted precious reinforcements south to meet an invasion that never came. Meanwhile, just miles away, the US real forces surged across the Rhine with far less resistance than expected. Historians say this sleight of hand may have saved countless American lives and accelerated the fall of Nazi Germany. Yet their story stayed classified until 1996. Families never knew. Veterans died without ever saying they'd fought with illusions instead of firepower. By war's end, the Ghost Army had pulled off more than 20 deception missions. If you're fascinated by these hidden war stories, subscribe now. There's so much more history waiting to be uncovered.